Earlier today, Wargaming announced that they're making some changes to the matchmaker. Now, these aren't the changes that we might have anticipated. When we think of a change to the matchmaker, we probably think of Wargaming changing how various tank types will get matched up against each other. However, that is not the case here because Wargaming has, I guess for all intents and purposes, has made a newbie matchmaker. Now, as the name implies, this is going to be the matchmaker where the lesser skilled members of Blitz are going to end up being placed. Now, Wargaming has said that the way they're going to determine which players end up in which matchmaker is going to depend on your performance in the last certain number of battles. They didn't give an exact number, but if I was to give a guess, probably about 100 or so. So what they said is basically they're just going to be checking how frequently you get a mastery badge. Now don't worry, I don't think this means aces. I think this is class 3s, class 2s, general stuff that most of us see from time to time. And anyone who doesn't get these things very often will kind of get pushed into this newbie matchmaker. So that means that win rate doesn't actually have an effect here. So for example, you could literally be getting, say, 40% win rate all the time, but if you're getting class 3s and class 2s every now and again, you'll probably still end up in the normal matchmaker because you're not really considered a noob, because you can't really be blamed for your win rate because oftentimes it's not always your fault. Like legitimately, sometimes you just lose and there is nothing to do with you. But if you're getting a mastery, then that means Wargaming's looking at that and they're like, yeah, that person probably belongs in this better matchmaker. So what that means is basically lower skilled players are going to end up in this newbie matchmaker, hence the name. However, that's actually a fairly interesting thing here because it's not just bad players that are going to end up in here. That means troll people who are trolling the game and who literally don't care about winning, are also going to get placed into this newbie matchmaker, which is really interesting. As well, people who just AFK grind, which honestly, you can't even really do that anymore, but I do know there are people that still try this for some reason. They'll just click into a game, go AFK throughout the entire thing, and ruin your game. Well, it seems that that is now going to have an even worse penalty now because that means they are now going to be placed into the newbie matchmaker because, of course, if you're AFKing, there's no aces happening. There's no masteries. You're just going to end up going to this newbie matchmaker because you're doing literally nothing to help your team. Now, that is not to say that Wargaming is trying to make this a completely skill-based matchmaker. They were very clear on this point, and they said they are not trying to make the matchmaker based on skill, because that's literally what ratings is for. So that is very nice to hear. So basically, it seems like just the particularly low level players and the troll players are going to end up into this newbie matchmaker, and for the rest of us, we're probably not going to notice much of anything at all, other than perhaps less trolls, AFKs, and newbie players. Now, to finish this video off, I just want to give my opinion on this new system. Overall, I would say I actually kind of like the idea. I mean, the thought of having troll players, AFK players, and particularly bad players end up in a newbie matchmaker that, for the most part, I shouldn't be a part of is kind of interesting. And honestly, I actually really like the idea that the people who are honestly abusing the game are going to be out of my game for the most part, because Wargaming has said there will be a little bit of crossover depending on how many people are in this new matchmaker. They are still trying to be fair. They're not going to give you a super long wait time, but there is definitely going to be a less high likelihood that you'll actually end up with these players, which I think is pretty cool. Now, there is one stipulation that I might have with this system, and that just kind of depends on how extreme this is. Really, for the most part, from what Wargaming said, I don't think you'll notice a whole lot, but who knows, maybe they'll make it so it's kind of easy to get into this newbie matchmaker. I kind of doubt it, but that is just one potential stipulation that I might have. And also, if you're wondering when this will come out, it is supposed to come out with update 9.4, which is supposed to launch in just a few days. So yeah, it's coming very quickly. This announcement came basically a day or two before the update came out, so that's why I'm making this video, to update you as quickly as possible. And anyway, with that, hope you all enjoyed, and as always, have fun, good luck, and happy tanking.